I have no idea. Reasons why I don't go live from the reptile room. I'm melting. It's too much. What's happening? Why would you send me an email to let me know that I'm live? I think I know. I don't do it often. I have to. It is seriously hot in here. And I don't even have, one of the enclosures doesn't even have lights on. That one. Ever since the bearded dragon passed, I just can't bring myself to put someone else in there. I miss her. She was so sweet. She was my little sister. I'm like literally posting right now that I'm going live on Facebook. I should probably like live stream from a different platform too, but I don't have another phone stand to hold it. But anyway, I'm in the reptile room. And I have to do some cleaning. Some of these, we got a lot of sheds. Later on, I'll be doing some feedings. So, I think I have to figure out how do I set up? So I don't do lives. This is like unusual for me. And it's usually for this very reason, like I am melting right now. I should probably get my headset because I think I might need it. Let me see. Need it. Okay. We'll see how that goes. Not really sure. I'm trying to pay attention to like if you guys have questions or you want to ask me questions, whatever. I'm the one that does all the building of the things, and I don't know. I don't do this very often. Do what you guys do. Probably show off some snakes. Right now, we've got corn snakes incubating. What's that? Hello. Oh, it looks like he's in shed. Great. In shed, doesn't that happen that way where it's like just in time for a live stream that someone would be in shed, or like that a bunch of them would be in shed? That happens. My mom came to visit. I had posted like pictures of her holding like the big boa. Hi Dominic. So like I had posted pictures of my mom holding my big boa. When she came to visit, she stayed for a whole week. Everybody was in shed, and she hasn't seen anybody in so long, and hasn't seen like a lot of the newer ones that I have in person. So like it's kind of crazy that like everybody was in shed just when she was visiting. I'm like, that's such a bummer, you know? So here's my first show off for the day. This is John Redcorn. John Redcorn is in shed. He's very sweet. He's the one that will come out of his enclosure and walk, roam around the room and then crawl back up into his enclosure, which is pretty awesome. He's a normal corn snake. He was actually sold to me as an Okiti, or Okiti, however you say it. But yeah, he's obviously not. But still a gorgeous animal, totally sweet, and in full zombie mode. So I'm going to try to leave him alone. He needs more. There you go. I remember when I first started collecting and stuff, I had made fun of all those people who had, 20, 30 reptiles in their house. And I used to say, that's crazy, they're hoarding. Why are you hoarding reptiles? And here I am. I've got probably about 50-ish. But at least they're all really good animals. And I've come to the realization that it's not hoarding unless you're unable to take care of them, right? I'm taking care of them. Hey, buddy. I'm going to have to walk away every so often just to, like, wash water bowls and fill them up and stuff. So hang in there. All right. It's okay if nobody's watching. I mean, I'll leave it up this time because I did do a live stream once before and I took it down. I didn't like leave it up. Or actually it's up, but it's private. So that's okay. If nobody's watching, somebody out there might be interested and be just as bored as me and not have anything else to do. It's pretty hot today. I finally turned on my AC. I was holding out for so long because electricity bills are ridiculous. That's one thing that you kind of don't really consider when you start collecting reptiles. And these animals need like lighting and heating and all of that stuff. So it's kind of rough on the electricity bill. The water bill is higher, those sort of things add up. So keep that in mind before you start collecting reptiles. Just PSA. Oh, Nancy's up in her ceiling hide, so she might not come out. But they are looking for food, so they might. I can't wait for the babies to hatch. I'm finally starting to see, what is that? I have boas. I have probably more boa species than python species, Monica. I've got the big boa constrictor. I can pull her out. I've got a smaller boa constrictor, both females. I've got a Dumeral's boa, which I'm actually discovering that there's a line of dwarf Dumeral's boas. And I think I have one because he's about 5 years old and all of like 4 feet. He's like the size of a ball python. It's kind of crazy. Because I was really expecting like this huge, I wanted a big Dumeral's, big hefty Dumeral's boa. And I didn't get that. Like he's like super small. But I also have the Brazilian rainbow boa. I have 3 Solomon Island tree boas. I have a Dominican red mountain boa. I have the Amazon tree boa. What else do I have for boas? Is that it? That might be it. Who else? Yeah, I think that's it. Maybe I need more boas. I do want an IMG. So if anybody's got IMGs out there and you want to give me an IMG, I wouldn't be mad. I want an IMG. Hi, Nancy. How are you? Hey, girl. Hi, Mama. All right. So, see, Nancy is a good girl, and she came out. This is Nancy. This is the mom of the babies that I've got incubating. Look how pretty she is. Much redder than John Redcorn. Which, yes, John Redcorn and Nancy. If you know, you know. So that's Fancy Nancy. That's the one I call Fancy Nancy. Where did I get her? I got her from BSR. I got her from BSR, the auction thing. This snake cost me like $40, something like that. And she's a core animal. Like I don't think I'll ever get rid of her. She's so cool, so sweet. She's like really red on camera, which is cool, I guess. So that's Nancy. I love her orange underneath instead of like the black. She's like super orange under there instead of black and white. Like John Redcorn has the black and white, but it's all grayed out right now because he's so deep in shed. But here's Nancy. And she's a good girl. She's pretty. Very, very pretty girl. So, yeah. Cleaning stuff out. Any more comments? Yep, that is a lot of boas. Oh, hi, Jason. How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I know, Aslan. I have a lot. And it's not everybody's jam. I understand that. Not everybody's into snakes. Not everybody's into, certain kinds of snakes. A lot of people look at something like this and think cobra food. I don't have any cobras. Do have a lot of babies incubating. I didn't count them. I still haven't counted the eggs. Why is that? I don't know why that is. But there's a couple of them look like twins. If you candle them with the flashlight, you can actually see inside. And once they start growing, you can see them a lot more too. I mean, if we get some more people in the live, I'll show off the eggs. Because, that's doable. But anyway, corn snakes. Probably a much better, easier snake than like a ball python. I don't want to, like ball pythons are great for handling. Perfect snake, first snake for handling. I might be hot for her because it is hot in here. It's like super hot in here. There's elements, heating elements, but ball pythons are great for handling for first-time keepers, but as far as keeping goes, I think corn snakes are way better, way easier. Definitely easier. The substrate is easier to get. You do need a lot of space though. I will say that, like a corn snake should have a good 4x2 at least, because man, they're active. You can see how much she's moving around. So not like a ball python would just kind of hang out there. I've already cleaned the ball pythons. They're in another room. So, okay, can we, hold on. Let me get I have specifically for poop. I have sponges and everything specifically for reptile poop. That's the way it should be. Got my reptile room trash can. One thing about corn snakes, I will say corn snakes poop a lot. Like a lot. It's the kind of thing that you should probably check daily. For spot cleaning and stuff. I mean, I don't really have that luxury. I actually work a lot of hours and I do all this stuff by myself, so I don't have help. So once or twice a week is when I go through and check on everyone's enclosures and make sure everybody's clean. I do a daily check for water because, you know, sometimes they will soil the water. So, got to check for that. And the bull snakes are notorious for kicking up all their substrate into the water bowl. I thought I had a couple of freaks, but apparently that's just a thing they do. So, all right, Nance. All right, go ahead. You're good. You're good. Get in there. No, now she doesn't want to let go. Okay, there we go. Let them go on their own. I don't like... Some people tickle their tail to get them to like move. I don't do that. I mean, with most of them, honestly, I could. Because my snakes are so used to being handled. Because I do handle them frequently. I do pull them out. Except for, I mean, there are some, like... That black enclosure up there, the one on top, I don't know if you can see that. You see that? There's a green tree python in there. Just all up against the, on the front, there's like 2 perches, and he or she, I'm pretty sure it's a chick. I'm getting chick vibes. I don't know. I'm not going to try to sex him though, because, you know, green tree python, yeah, I don't want to get bit. And I'm not like a punk or anything. I've been bit before, but if you can avoid it, you know, like why get bit if you can avoid it? So I don't like getting bit. It's going to be a negative experience, not only for me, but also for the animal. So I don't want to get bit, and I will try not to. And it has nothing to do with being scared or anything like that. I'm not a punk. As you can see, I'm not exactly a tiny little delicate woman. So... But let's pull someone else out. Oh, he's not coming out. I was going to pull out Steve. A lot of people are fond of Steve Boopshemi. He's my leucistic Texas rat snake, and he's got big googly eyes, so I named him Steve Boopshemi. Because I don't know if you know Crazy Eyes from, what is it, Happy Gilmore, I think. Not really an Adam Sandler fan, but I love that character. Hey, Steve. You want to come out, buddy? Can you come out? No. Usually they know when I'm feeding. What I do is I take the food. Yes, I'm a real mother trucker. I take the food out and I let it defrost in the room. So they all start smelling it as it's defrosting or thawing out, whatever. And they all start, like, by the time it's nighttime, I feed at night exclusively. So most of mine are nighttime hunters or crepuscular hunters. So I feed at night and I let the food thaw out in the room during the day. So by the time the lights go out at night, like the enclosure lights are all set on timers, so they go out and the sun is no longer shining through the windows here. They all start coming, like everybody's right at the front doors, just waiting for their food. It's pretty cool. They all know. They know when it's Friday. They know when it's the weekend. They know when it's time to eat. Like they understand, I guess, or maybe they just smell it. But even the ones that are in the other rooms, they do the same thing. They know what day of the week it is and whether it's feeding day. So that's pretty cool. Thank you, Jason. It's actually somewhat clean in here. I don't really have a whole lot going on. I don't know if you can see it here. There's more over there. There's some of the bigger cages right here that are out of view because they're too big and in the corner here. I've got 2 more 40 by 20 inch right here. There's the big iguana one over there. That's the iguana one. That's like, I think it's like 5 foot wide, 4.5 foot tall, and 2 feet deep. For an iguana that's this big. So I can't wait. I'm moving locations next month. I'm moving locations to a bigger place. So they will have like outdoor enclosures, a lot more outdoor enclosures setups. And I mean, Camp Kennan and stuff like that is goals. You know what I mean? Like I love that stuff. We have a question. Leopard gecko that's almost 2 years old, and is it fine if you feed Sunday and Wednesday, or is that too much? That depends on how much your leopard gecko eats. I mean, you could feed it every day as long as it wasn't too much. Like if you just give them like 1 or 2 a day, that's fine. I had some that would only eat once a week. I had some that would want to eat every day. So it really just depends on your individual animal. Just pay attention to your individual animal, and if you like it, thank you, Jason. If you like your, or if your gecko will feed, you know, on a couple of dubia every day, that's fine. That's totally fine. A lot of them won't. Some of them won't take it. It's just they're individuals. So you just got to work with your specific animal, because it varies. And there's no one answer. There's just no one answer for any of them because they all have their own preferences. I will say that my males tend to eat, or tended, because I don't have leopard geckos anymore. I stopped breeding them. That'll be a story time for a little bit later, but I don't have leopard geckos anymore. But when I did notice that my males ate a little bit more than, or more often than the females did, unless they were building eggs or whatever. So it really just depends. That's probably not the answer you were hoping for. I don't like to give people definitive answers because I mean they're all different, you know. You never know about someone else's animal. You know your animal more than anybody else. And if you pay attention, you can hear them talking to you because I'm crazy. Just kidding. Let's see. Did Steve come out? Steve is not coming out. Come on, buddy. No, he's not interested. So I'm just going to pick up this turd. If anybody has a good recommendation for a cat litter scoop that's meant for fine cat litter, let me know, because I need one. All right, so who's next? Next we have Elvira. Elvira is my 2020 Mexican black kingsnake. Hi. Gorgeous, gorgeous jet black. Ugh, there's something about like jet black snakes, right? Well, I guess in the light she does have a little bit of a chocolate undertone there. Her belly often looks quite blue, actually. I don't know if you can see that. It's like the iridescence and everything. It's pretty. Let me get myself out of the frame. Look at that belly. Isn't that cool? And she's another one that's a total sweetheart. The person I got her from is no longer with us, unfortunately. R.I.P. But he had given her to me. I traded bioactive materials. So I collect and process bioactive materials, and from time to time, if it's requested, I will sell it. But I ended up trading for her because he wanted to set up a big black rat snake in a bioactive enclosure. So I sent him all the bioactive materials of everything I had processed myself, and he sent me this. I think that's a fair trade. She is beautiful. She's an ideal, and he told me when he sent her to me, he had told me that she's a little nippy, that she's, difficult to handle. I mean, granted, I've had her for probably about 3.5, 4 years now. So she's used to me now, but she's never bitten me. She's never struck at me. I was careful. That's probably why, though. When I first got her, I was careful handling her. I handled her with gloves. I handled her with a hook. I used a hook because there's nothing wrong with that. And it's annoying when people say that it's, I don't want to cuss, but when people demean others for using gloves and, hooks, like these are tools. These are tools of the trade. Every trade has tools, and there's nothing wrong with using gloves. There's nothing wrong with using hooks. If anything, it's actually a lot more comfortable for the snake to use gloves. Never mind me, but the snake, because the temperature on your hand is very warm, and if you touch them with body temperature, they're a lot more sensitive to it than if you touch them with like gloves on or cold hands even. So if you wash your hands in cold water and then try to handle your snake, I bet they're a lot less squirrely. Try it. Or just wear gloves. It's no big deal. Something to mask your temperature just a little bit. And that's enough to get them to not be so startled by your touch. That's the way I do it. Look, she's tying herself in a pretzel. And yes, Jason, she does have an adorable little bow tie. You see that? She's got a little bow tie on her chin. I'm going to try to get out of camera view. I don't know if it's going to show. How adorable is she? So cute. Oh my goodness. And she's one of the ones that kicks substrate into her water bowl and then will lay in the water bowl like, I need water. And it's like, dude, you had water. So I clean that out. I get these from the dollar store. They're pretty awesome. Anything with like straight sides so they can't be tipped over. Glass because it's heavy. That's the way to go. My suggestion anyway. Another thing that I get from the dollar stores are these little black and yellow toolboxes that just happen to match the enclosures. Huzzah. But I get these little toolboxes, and I use these for like their humid hides, and they use them. I leave them with humid hides all the time. I don't take them out unless I'm just cleaning it, or changing the substrate inside. And I use a damp substrate, but the inside of the enclosures is actually like a sandy chip type for colubrids and some of the boas even, because as you can see, I'm melting. I'm melting. It is super hot in here. And I've got the AC on, but this room is kind of like at a corner turn, and we don't have central air here. I can't wait to move. So I don't have central air, so I have to worry about like, this room gets pretty warm. But that's why I decided to give the reptiles this room, because it stays warm. Because like that helps like in the summertime when the AC is running. I run a lot of these on like the colubrids, especially. In the summertime, their heating elements are off, you know, so they're fine on the room temperature, but it's hot in here. Where's my, oh, you know what? My temperature gun is over in the laundry room with the eggs that are incubating. So I'll get it in a bit when I get the eggs and we can see what the temperature is in here. But I'm going to guess that it's somewhere in the 80s in this room right now. It feels like it's about 1,000, but you know. Yeah. Hi, Carter. Snake indeed. Thank you, Jason. I know, she is so sweet. I mean, people say, oh, don't let them near your face. They're going to bite you. Really? I do. I'm a little nuts. Anyway, let's get this one cleaned out and pull out the next one. Who's that? Uh-oh. I'm getting messages. Oh. Hi. I'm getting messages on Facebook Messenger from people who are watching. Hi. So, I mean, feel free if you have any questions. I'm here to answer them for you. I'll give you any tips and tricks as I go along. Let's see. I might go through and answer some email questions, because I do actually get a lot of email questions. And for the most part, if you email me, I will get back to you. If I don't, it's literally because I forgot. It's nothing to do with anything else. It's just because I forgot. So feel free to email me any questions you have or anything, especially like when it comes to these things, because I think I've become pretty proficient at building these. So, you know, and they work like these guys, like this one here is in a, what is it? It's a 40-gallon tub. But the thing about the tubs is the dimensions, because it's tapered, like it tapers like that at the bottom, and it's wider at the top, it changes the actual like gallons. So if you look at the footprint of the one that is a 40-gallon, it's bigger than an actual 40-gallon tank. Like what the, like that's a 44 Exoterra. But like those ones next to it, they're bigger. They're like bigger than those. They're actually set back a little farther, so they might look smaller on the camera. But these ones here are 40 gallons, and they have a bigger footprint. Like they don't fit. Those tubs don't fit on the same shelves that these ones fit. So they're actually a little bit bigger as far as the footprint goes. And I do use the full height of the enclosure, because what's the point of having like a 4x2x2 and everything's on the bottom. You're not using any of that height. It's all open space. That's a waste of space to me. Like, if you're going to get it, fill it up. Like, put, you know, I use these shelves. Oh, see if I could turn the thing here. You see these like plastic shelves here? I do use those shelves in the enclosures. I can probably try to show you. Well, let's see if I can. Well, I'm afraid to move this thing. If I move it, it might not stick back on here. I'll definitely need 2 hands to put it back. So let me finish with her. Let me finish with Elvira. This is Elvira. Because, I mean, Mistress of the Dark, if you're old like me, you know where that's from. What do? I'm a truck driver, believe it or not. That's, you know, mother trucking, that's the whole thing. That's another question that I get actually pretty often is like, what do you do for a living that you can take care of like all these animals? I mean, my feed bill monthly for a collection this size is I don't breed rodents anymore. So like my feed bill is probably about $300 to $400 a month. It's an entire bill. It's like it's an expense. It's definitely something I have to calculate when I'm doing my budget. But it's also because I'm a budget keeper. Everything that I do with them is like I keep them in a budget kind of way. And that doesn't mean, just because it's on a budget, does not mean that they're kept inadequately. Okay? Because you see these enclosures, they're full, you know, they're fully decorated. They all have everything that they need, multiple hides. They have a temperature gradient. Well, during the winter, right now it's on ambient because it's so darn hot. But, you know, the humidity where I am, the state that I'm in, is super humid. It's actually considered subtropical. So I don't have to worry about humidity like some people do, but certain species like the Brazilian rainbow boa, that requires more humidity than, say, this girl. So there are tips for that. I do have the Brazilian rainbow boa enclosure video. It's a short, actually, somewhere on the channels that you can see that it's like I put the water bowl over the heating element, and the heat evaporates the water and it generates humidity for the entire enclosure. And because it's a warm, humid air, it actually keeps the enclosure a little warmer too. So and Brazilian rainbow boas, most of the time, if you have an animal that like requires a lot of humidity, usually that means the temperature has to be a little bit cooler. So like if you have the average, we'll say like the average is 60 to 70 humidity with a 90-degree hot spot. Generally speaking, that's most snakes. That's most snakes. What's the matter, dog? So I use the sandy chip type substrate, and that still holds it still holds the heat, and it doesn't mold because I spot clean often, so I don't have to worry about that. A lot of people complain about, well, you don't use aspen because aspen's going to get moldy. And so, yeah, it get moldy if you don't clean it. Duh. Right? Like, I clean it so it doesn't get moldy unless I miss a poo. And usually it's inside of the humid hide because they will poop inside the humid hide, which way easier for me, you know. Here, you want to go in there? Ooh, did you hear that? That was a thunderclap. Did you hear that? That was cool. Oh, it just started pouring. It's about to get dark in here. Shoot. There she goes. Storming is a good time to pair snakes, by the way. All right. Let me get her some water. I'll be right back. That's Mexican black king snakes. I don't know if it's a thing, but she's one of the ones that will, as soon as I put fresh water in there, she's in there like right away to get water. She loves her fresh water. There you go, little girl. See ya. Who we got down here? Oh, we got Heinz. Heinz is, oh wait, you know what? I was going to try to show off the boa real quick. Hold on, because she's right there. Oh, this is going to be... Okay. To disconnect it from the thing. How do I turn this around? So, there she is. But you see how I got those shelves in there? And then there's a... That is like a 20-gallon tub. That is her humid hide, and she will bask like on top of it because I actually have a heating element underneath the lid, attached to the underside of the lid, which is off right now because boa constrictors do not need as much heat as what some people think they do. They don't. I keep her like 86 probably tops. Right now, she's at room temperature. She doesn't need any more than that. And look at her, she's chilling. But that used to be my Savannah monitor enclosure. But when I moved up the Savannah monitor to the bigger enclosure in the living room, I put her in there because she is very particular. And she starts like, if you don't clean her poop immediately, like immediately, she starts pushing. And the enclosure I had her in before was a little small for her, to be fair. So her pushing, she was able to pop the doors right out of their thing. So I reinforced it, so she can't do that here. And I don't know if you noticed, but like I do have a video of it. The little, the round, what do they call it? The suction cups with the little nipple on it. The suction cups with the little nipple on it. I put that like in between the doors and it actually keeps it from sliding. So she can't slide it open. And then I put boards on the sides, on the two ends, to keep her from pushing them open because that's what she did with the other enclosure. Girl. And when she gets out, she doesn't want to go back in. Yeah, but like they'll stay in the room because this is a dedicated, thankfully I'm able to have a dedicated room for these animals. So she doesn't leave the room if anybody gets out of their enclosure. And if anybody gets out of their enclosure, that's my fault, first of all. And that's because I'm old and absent-minded. I might accidentally leave something open. Hi, Christoph. Christoph? Sure. I'm guessing it's Christoph. Hi. I leave the door closed so they can't get out of the room even if they actually escape the enclosures. It's always my fault when that happens. But back to Heinz, who's also named. He's got two names. Oh, that's fun. Full shed. Along with, all the other ones I've already pulled out for today. That's the sign of a healthy animal. Hi, buddy. You want to come out and say hello? I know you don't. Hi. I'm not feeding yet. Don't bite me. Come on, buddy. Where you at? I'm gonna grab this stuff. Sorry, I'm way down here. I don't know if you can even... Oh, you can see me, right? Because I put it the vertical way so that you can see me if I'm down here. Otherwise, you might just see the ceiling instead. I'm gonna have to turn the sound off of my phone because my phone keeps going off over here. Oh, sorry, buddy. Ew. Oh, that's a fresh one. Oof. And I'm not just picking up poop, I'm also picking up urates, and I'm also picking up little spots that might have gotten a little bit too much moisture on it from the water hole. Hi, buddy. Can you come out? Hello. Oh, there we go. This is Heinz. Heinz is a Honduran milksnake. It is a male. He's an albino. I think it's albino tricolor Honduran milksnake. His tail is so pretty. This is one of the prettier ones. I am not a huge fan of albino animals because there's like, I have like some kind of aversion to red-eyed snakes. I don't know why. I just don't really like the red-eyed snakes too much. But this guy is so stinking cute. And he's extra squirrely because I just dug him up. It is so hot in here. So Heinz has two names. He has Heinz because when I got him, actually, that orange was a lot more yellow. So it looked like ketchup, mayonnaise, and mustard. So I named him Heinz. But when I got him, when I first, wanted like one of these, I had wanted to pick like a name, like a popular name from Honduras. I thought that would be cool because that's kind of how I go about naming my animals sometimes. And so this guy was going to be named Andres, but Andy became Heinz because he looks like condiments to me. And he's extra squirrely. Why are you so squirrely? He'll calm down in a minute. He's probably hungry, wondering where his food is, because I should be feeding him. Oh my goodness, he made a whole mess. All right, hold on. We're gonna get a different scoop. Oh wait, it's right here. Scoop. There we go. He calmed down now. Gotta grab him some more water. And you know what? Another one of those things that I do on a budget is dog bowls. Don't sleep on those dollar store dog bowls, you guys. Especially for a snake like this, because check this out. You put a little hole in the side, and they can fit right in there, and it becomes an additional hide. So you have a water bowl, and it's basically a weighted hide because it's weighted by the water. And that's perfect for somebody like this. And he'll get much bigger. He's still little, I think. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't power feed. I don't overfeed. I feed everybody. I feel like what's appropriate. As you can see, they're all in excellent body condition. Nobody's like overweight really, or underweight for that matter. So I'm doing what I gotta do feeding them, but because I'm not power feeding them, they all grow very slowly. And that's how it should be. And I'm hoping that that would lead to an overall larger, healthier animal, but it looks like it's not. It looks like, you know, if you feed them a lot more, I guess, naturally. Smaller prey, sometimes it's smaller prey with slightly more frequency than... Like, I don't do more than once a week. I don't feed anybody more than once a week. Even the babies. I don't. Never did. Never did. Unless I had a baby that was a difficult feeder and they finally got to eating, and then, you know, that's different. Because, you know, at that point, if you have a difficult feeder and they start eating, feed them as much as they want in the beginning until they're consistently eating. Then you can put them on a normal feeding schedule. Usually it'll happen after a shed because it will induce a shed. The more you feed them, the more they're going to shed because they're growing. So, but anyway, this is Heinz. He's gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful snake. He's so pretty. Where did I get him from? Caraway Creek. Caraway Creek is where he came from. If you've ever seen... Oh, and it recently passed. Gemini is one like this, but with two heads from Caraway Creek. This snake is related to that two-headed snake. Water bowl. I feel like there's things missing out of this enclosure. Did I set something down somewhere? No? Buddy, you need more stuff in your enclosure. He burrows. This is definitely a burrowing species. So deep, loose substrate is ideal for one of these guys. Look how pretty you're sitting there, all pretty. You are so pretty. Oh my goodness. I do have plans to put them all in bigger enclosures once I move. The lock was a little wonky. Now, the Bullsnakes. I don't know if you follow the channel, and you'll know. This one, that's Jeffrey. Jeffrey is a smack talker. Jeffrey likes to threaten me. So this is going to be fun. And as you can see, he's raring to go. All right, so it doesn't usually work with him, but I'm going to try it because he is super hype when it comes to feeding. So I'm actually going to try to see if this works, but I have like my hand gesture thing that I do to diffuse them, to get them to snap out of that food response. If they see me go like this, they know that like food is coming or not coming, so they know not to try to strike at the first thing they see moving. This is not one of them that works for. He will strike at me. Hi, buddy. No. Hey, no. Oh, see, he's doing the tongue thing. Bullsnakes are among the ones that will, when they tongue flick, their tongue stays out and like really vibrates a lot before zipping back in. Hi, buddy. I'm gonna get a hook. Hello. Wanna come out? Hi. Oh, look at you being good today. Oh my goodness. He's being good today. Not a hiss to be heard. Are you kidding me? Gonna make me look like a liar. No, because I got it on video. You guys can go back and look at some of my shorts or some of my other videos and see. I got one that's like 2 minutes of him hissing at me. And when they hiss, it's quite a performance. Like they are definitely the thespians of the reptile world. I tell you what, them and hognose snakes, oh, something about it. They are crazy. Do not stick your butt out at me. Okay. This is a xanthic white-side, as you can see, xanthic white-side bull snake. Oh no, don't pull the wire. Oh, there he goes. I grabbed his tail. He didn't like that. Okay, yeah. I know, you gotta calm down. Now, his coloring in person, you guys can't really, it never shows. It's like, he's almost a lavender. I don't know if you guys can see it. He's like a lavender and gray. You gonna talk for the camera? You gonna say hi? You can say hi to the camera. Caniculture, yes. I have a much larger female that also needs cleaning. I'll be pulling her out in a little bit. That she's about at least twice this size. And when I first got her, she was super unsure. And it was kind of in the beginning sort of this particular collection, because I did have reptiles before, but I didn't have them for a while. So out of this collection, she was one of the first year of me collecting, and when I first got her, she was real skittish, like super skittish, and she would posture and she would hiss. Nothing like this guy, though. This guy puts on a show. It's crazy. Like, he will posture, hiss, curl his whole body and stuff, rattle the crap out of his tail. It's hilarious because, as you can see, he's not biting me. At least not right now. He's not striking at me. Sometimes he will strike at me. And when he does, he like boops. He'll boop you. He wants to boop your hand with his snoot. He's a self-snoot booper person, snake thing. But he's not fond of being held. Some of them are very, very tolerant. He's not one of those ones that's like super tolerant. I got this guy from Jim Cardo up in, like, I think he's in Wisconsin or somewhere out there. I've got two of them, actually. Both of my males came from Jim, and they both like to put on a show, but this one very much more so, like much more than the other one. But I mean, he's gorgeous. I wouldn't trade him. He's gorgeous. I can't. He's got blue eyes, if you can sort of see it. They have like that. Let me get out of the frame here. I don't know. I don't know if you can see him. He's got blue eyes. It's so pretty. He's gorgeous. He is a pretty one. Yes, it's your cage. Go ahead. Go back. Go ahead. Yeah, that's one of the few that doesn't like to hang out with me. Honestly, if they don't want to hang out with me, I'm okay with that as long as they're not being dicks about it. I think that's the biggest thing for me. As long as they're not being rude, biting all the time, stuff. That's the part that's gonna make me consider rehoming. Because just like the same reason I don't really want to have anything venomous that I can't handle, because I'm a hands-on person. I want to be able to interact with them and get my hands on them and see how much I can communicate with them. But I guess the communication worked today because he didn't put on a show. Usually he does, so I guess the hand gesture thing worked after all, didn't it? All right, buddy. Now watch him do it. Now that he's back in there, he's gonna start talking shit. Watch. All right, I gotta come in here. May I? Look. Can I? I'm cleaning. Look, cleaning. See? See this? Oh no, you got a poop right there because it's right next to you. Can I grab it? You gonna be nice? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you gotta pull that hide out. He's got a bigger hide because he doesn't fit in the little toolbox hide anymore. Hold on now. I'm just gonna take your hide out, but I'll put it back, okay? Sit. What is this? Sit. Okay. No bigs. Not bothering you. Not bothering you. There we go. Good job. You are being so good, making me look like a damn liar. That's okay, though. I don't mind it. He's going to suddenly behave. Suddenly. Because we're on camera. It's like those children. You ever meet like a person who has children that they're absolute terrors at home, but they go to somebody else's house and they're angels, make their parents look like a liar? That's Jeffrey. Oh, that's nasty. Where's my tweezies? Yeah. He's along the back wall right now, just eyeballing me. I tell you what, sometimes reptiles really are just toddlers, man. Scaly toddlers, some of them. The lizards, them too, especially. But even the snakes, man, they all have personalities. I know, like, everybody kind of gets on about how they can't feel, they don't have emotion and stuff like that, but they don't, but they can still learn to trust you. They can still, feel secure and comfortable enough to come hang out with you. And look, man, if that's how you want to interpret how your animal is interacting with you, then by all means, as long as you're taking care of it, take care of the animal, meet the animal's needs, meet and exceed the animal's needs, pay attention to body language. That's a big thing. Pay attention to the body language. Understanding the way they perceive their environment is another huge thing. If you can understand the way they see you and the way they see their home and stuff like that, like if you can provide them with a safe, secure space, they're going to be a lot more open to interacting with you, because nobody really wants to be friends with a prisoner, right? Like with someone who's keeping them imprisoned. So I try to, as much as I can, I try to make it feel like they have a choice. Like I know Lori Tarini does that whole choice-based handling thing. Now, if I had more time, more space, I will have more space soon, but if I had more time, I might be able to do something like that, but it's not completely choice-based. Like earlier you noticed with Steve, the Texas Lucy, he's up in his hide. Like I went in there, I kind of tickled him a little bit. He moved, like he knows that I was there. He's still up in it. And you know what? I can't get him out of there. That hide is attached to the top. And thankfully they don't poop in it. They love that hide. They hides that are attached to the ceiling of the enclosure. They love that. Definitely give them that. Another thing is the tubes. You guys, go to like your local hardware store and get this drain tubing. I use the perforated kind because it allows humidity into the, and it allows ventilation. But they love these. They do. And it's kind of a shame when they grow out of them. But since I'm a truck driver, I actually go to like locations that have like farming equipment and stuff like that. So I have access to buy, like I don't even have to buy it, honestly. They just give it to me because they throw this stuff away. So if you have like say a John Deere like tractor supply place near you, see if they have like any large size drain tubing or hose. It's either a tube or a hose, depending on what type you get, what it's made of or whatever. The other ones that I have are much bigger, but I don't have an angle grinder. I have to buy an angle grinder because they have a wire that goes through it. And that wire is like super firm and thick. I can't cut it by hand. So I don't really have anything to cut it right now. So I need to get like an angle grinder so that I can like, and get it. And then I can cut. But I've got probably 12 to 15 feet of this stuff given to me for free. Awesome sauce. You know, if you go and you ask to see if they see, it doesn't hurt to ask, like, cause I'm a budget keeper. Like I said, I try to do everything on a budget. No, it's not that I don't have it. I don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on large size tubing because it's industrial and used for industrial purposes. No, I know the people who work there because I deliver, farming equipment to them. And I had asked him one day, I was like, hey, do you guys happen to have any of this stuff that you're willing to spare? And I got like feet of it. There's a big old tube out in the front yard, the front porch that I can't even, there's nowhere to put it in the house. It's just this, and it's like this big around. So I'm going to pull, once I get that cut, that's going to go for the Boas, the carpet python. Unfortunately, as much as he loves being in this, not this one specifically, he's got one in his enclosure, but as much as they love it, like they do grow out of it. The smaller snakes, they stay small, like the colubrids, the bullsnakes are still good with theirs. The corn snakes, Mexican black kingsnake has some, the Honduran milksnake. I've got another bull snake here. The Dumeral's boa also has drain tube, and he hasn't grown out of it because, like I said, I have a dwarf Dumeral's boa. Even the small boa constrictor, who's still a little bit smaller, I can pull her out too, even though she is very clearly waiting for food. But they love this stuff, and I just cut little sections of it, like this, okay? And they're posable, which is bonus, right? Because I can take it and you can get like a long piece and have it like that and just have like all the way across Like I was saying, use the height. Use the height of your enclosures. Don't just use the bottom of the enclosures. Use height. And don't have a 4x2x2 if you're only going to have stuff along the bottom for your reptiles to live in. No, use the height. They want to climb. Even non-climbing species will still climb if you give them the climbing stuff. And I know because I got hog noses. Those are quite terrestrial. They burrow. They're burrowers. All my burrowers, except for I would say the Dumeral's boa really doesn't so much, but I do still have elevated areas, and I do still catch them at night when all the lights are out. If you think your animal is not doing anything and it's just always in his hide, try going in there when it's pitch dark in the room. Flip that light on. I bet you're gonna find them out. So, and I'm talking like 1-2 o'clock in the morning. Like that's when they're out. Like that's when they're exploring and stuff. So, but anyway, like I'll have something like that and have it go all the way across like the back or something, or like up in the corner like this. And they love that. They're all over it. They're all over it. And you know, if I find something that they enjoy, I'm gonna keep using it. And I tried using it with other species, even like some of the lizards. Like I had when I had my jeweled lacerda. R.I.P. He even like to, you know, I'd take it and you could take it and like bury it. Bury. So why couldn't I say that word for a second? Bury it. And bury it. and it'll have like just a little opening for them to get down, but it'll be like this. Like if you have like a deep substrate, you could have something like that. And it's like their own little tunnel, their own private little cave. And the only thing is that once in a while they will poop in it, but it's plastic. Just take it out and hose it down and scrub it off with a brush and you're good. Like that's not hard. Like urates do stick to it, but hot enough water straight from the tap is enough to break it up and get it off of here. So these are hella valuable in this house for sure. All right, what was I doing? I was cleaning his tub because Jeffrey's enclosure is still wide open. That's the type of thing that I do that I'll forget and then he'll escape and be running around. But he hasn't. I've been keeping an eye. So, and this, I got these on Amazon. These tubs on Amazon, they're very small. These are 3-gallon. Perfect. Perfect size for a larger colubrid. I just put a little hole in it. I leave it in there all the time. All year round, not just when they're shedding. All year round, I leave it in there. And they use them. They love them. And they often poop in them. So it's like super easy because then I don't have to like change out the whole substrate nearly as often because I'm just taking it out and cleaning this. And then obviously, you know, once a month or so, I'll dump out all of the stuff and then just put fresh substrate in there. Where are you? Oh, he's up in... Speaking of which, he's up in the tube. All right, Jeffrey. See you later, buddy. We got another shed. Whoa, okay, see? This is another one. This is Barbosa. This is the other bull snake that I got from Jim. And he's a little hype. He's a little hype for food right now. I tell you, they know what day of the week it is. All right. We're gonna try the thing. We're gonna try it. There's no food here. There's no food here. No food. Okay. Can we say hi? Hi, buddy. There's another one. Hi, buddy. You gonna come out or what? He's halfway in that big black and gray hide. So we'll wait for a second. He knows he's not getting food. Got a comment here. Colubrids feel peels. The bushfish should go for a higher intelligence level. Dude, I'm telling you, a lot of them are. I think, I don't know. What's the stupidest reptile you guys have? Bearded dragons, ball pythons. There's my bearded dragon right now. He's dancing because he wants food too. But yes, they are pretty smart. A lot of them are. I'm super proud that I've kind of come up with this way of communicating with them to diffuse them and everything. And I mean, I can do it. A lot of them, I could do it without using any other tools. I just kind of, for some reason, animals understand that this means halt. Stop, you know. I wouldn't try it on a rabid dog or anything, but with reptiles, it actually works. So he's got a little bit of different tongue flicking action right now. He's getting into more of an exploratory mode. So let's try to grab him. Hi, buddy. Can I come say hello? Hello. Hi. No food. I'm not food. Barbosa, if you've followed the channel at all, you might have seen me do like an well, maybe not an unboxing, but like a introduction to this animal. This was sold to me as a female. It was supposed to be female because I wanted Jeffrey specifically to be a male, but when I was supposed to get an exanthic, just an exanthic from Jim. And he had hatched out. I had been like on a waiting list sort of for like 2 years. So when he finally hatched out some exanthics, I got pick of the litter, which was awesome. And I picked Jeffrey because, you know, even though he wasn't just the exanthic, he's you saw him, he's gorgeous white side, and he's also het for hypo. And so Canna had said hers is a hypo. He's het for hypo as well. So actually, it's questionable. It's questionable on whether or not he's visually a hypo because he sort of looks it, but I don't know. I think he's just het for hypo. Because I think if he had hypo and exanthic in him, he would be a lot more washed out. Like he's got quite like a lavender sort of color. And because the white side kind of brings out brighter colors anyway. Even if you saw like a just white side with no hets or anything, they're still a lot lighter than a wild type. Hi, can I? Hello. Oh, good job. You're such a good boy. All right, but this one, I wanted an exanthic still. So he actually convinced me to buy another one, and I did. So I got this one, but it was supposed to be a female, and when I got it, it looked like a female, but then all of a sudden it really grew into its tail. So it was like, holy crap. So you could definitely tell by the tail, as thick as it is at the base. Like there's the... Okay, calm down, guy. Calm down. Oh. All right. Can you calm down? Holy Jesus. Hey. Relax. No, don't you start hissing at me. Come here. How is it Jeffrey was more behaved than you, Barbosa? Hey now. All right, we need to... He's got to get it out of his system. You hear that? You talking shit? Oh, he's talking shit. All right. He's not interested today, so let's just go ahead and... I know, I hear you hissing. That's fine. What was I saying? Anyway, it turned out to be male, but because he was so stunning and easy to handle, easier than this anyway. Sometimes they grow into being a dick, but I love him. I fell in love with him instantly. So, you know, even though the offer was there for me to send him back, I was like, I'm going to keep him. And then Jim keeps telling me now that he wishes he'd have kept Jeffrey. I bet he was bummed that he gave me pick of the litter on that one. I hear you talking, buddy. I hear you barking, big dog. I hear you barking. All right. That's all right. It was gross. These tubs hold humidity so well that every once in a while I might get a little bit of spots that look like they're growing mold or something. Gotta take those out instantly. Don't leave that shit in there. Little too much moisture I must have put in there last time, so we're not going to add any more. Look at, how tall are you? About 5 foot. It's probably about 5 foot. All right. Where's the top? All right. You know what? Go ahead. Go back in. No, go back in. There you go. So dramatic. Get some water. I'll be right back. We'll see how long it takes before he kicks all the substrate into the water bowl. Are you still talking smack? Here's your damn water. Shut up. There you go. There you go. Bye-bye. And that's it for who's over there. Actually, no, it's not. Technically, I do have the... Oh. No Way Jose. Do you guys know who that is? That is my hyper melanistic California kingsnake that I literally bought because it looked like a hybrid. I had never seen one like that before. All the hyper mels that I had seen looked different. And this one has a lot of the classic banding. Oh, great. Sirens down the street. I actually live right down the street from a major police station. So I hear sirens all the time. But another reason to move. I can't wait. But so No Way Jose is in here. He's still little. Now, these are tiny little grow out tubs. Check it out. How cute is that? You see what I'm saying about using height though? So, let me open that up. Oh, all that flopping it around, I spilled the water, but just took the water bowl out. So there it is without the glare. See that? He's got a half tube hide right there. And then under there is his little humidity high. Oh, there he is. He's still a little guy. No way, Jose. Still a little guy. But this is just a small, like I use these, I made these for quarantine. For quarantining babies, obviously. I'm not going to put a full-size ball python in here for quarantine. But for quarantining babies, it worked out really well. Oh, he's right up at the top. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, you know what, you guys? Another thing, which is like cool budget sort of decor. I got one of those packages of bones at Halloween from like Home Depot, and they're plastic. It's like plastic bones. And they make cool like little decorations and stuff, and like something like this that sits on the substrate like that, it sort of doubles as a pseudo hide, like a little part, something they can hide under, you know? Where'd you go, buddy? I gotta pull him out. He is so pretty. Oh, there you are. Hi, you're so handsome. Hi, buddy. Oh, look at you. He will probably musk on me. Oh, look at that little piece of shit. He will probably musk on me because he's still a baby, and I don't really mess with him that much. I let them grow up a little bit because I don't want to stress them out when they're little. I'd rather them just kind of get used to me. Oh, did you go in there? No, you didn't. Where are you? There you are. Come here, little dude. This is a little hide out of Tupperware. Because you don't have to spend a fortune to provide them with what they need. Hi, buddy. Oh, you're gonna strike at me. He's gonna get me. Him's gonna get me. All right, come here, dude. Come here, dude. Let me get you, dude. How gorgeous is that? Now, I don't even know if you could see the coloring on it, but it's almost a golden brown. Jet black belly. Kind of like reminds me of those hog noses, the super conda hog noses that have, yeah, he's musking. Oh, can you put your butthole away, please? We don't need that. You do not need your butthole, sir. Put it away. So he's got, look at that line, that white line. And those are unbroken lines all the way down. And then his head is just a black head. He's got a little black head with a little spot. And he's still a baby. How long have I had this guy? I got him the same day that the first All-American Plant and Reptile Expo came to Charlotte. Didn't get him from Charlotte. I actually got him from the Durham Show Me show because I was in Durham at the Show Me show on Sunday in the morning, and then from there drove from Durham to Charlotte for the All-American Reptile Expo and met Dave Kaufman and saw Brian Cusco and everything. It was pretty cool. But I got this guy at the Durham show. He stopped me dead in my tracks when I saw him. I was like, what is that? Like, to me, it looked like a hybrid. It looked like a hybrid between like a Cali King and a Mexican Black King because of that black belly and stuff and the black head. I was just like, what is that? And then the guy was like, oh, it's a hypermel king, Cal King. And I'm like, what? And so I go on like Morph Market, you know, wealth of information there. I go on Morph Market and I'm doing a search for hypermel Cal Kings, and most of them don't look like this. Like I've seen like maybe one adult that resembled this, but the pattern is so much brighter on this guy. And the blushing is incredible. I really wish it would focus on him. The blushing is incredible. And that beautiful line, that racing stripe, oh, with the jet black belly, I fell in love. I was just like, no way. And that's how he got his name, No Way Jose. Because I'm like, no way is that a Cali King. But sure enough, hypermale Cal King. There it is. And because I only had one slot for a Cal King, that meant Domino, who was in the bottom there, Domino got moved out. So Domino is actually with a very good friend of mine who's taking good care of him. And I told him if he ever had to get rid of him, just give him back. But so Domino's not living here anymore. And he was just a regular banded Cal King. But I mean, I hate to say it this way, but like a lot of people give me animals or surrender animals to me that they no longer want or can't keep or can no longer take care of, or if it needs like veterinary care or something like that. Sometimes people unable, and not all the rescues will take everything, or they might not have the space or whatever. I don't know what the situation was at the time. I think Be Wild was still kind of new at the time, because Be Wild Reptile Rescue is around here. So they were still pretty new when I met this lady, and she ended up putting me in touch with someone else who was getting rid of their Cal King. So technically, Domino was not one that I had selected for myself, if that makes sense. That was one that was surrendered because they couldn't keep it anymore. And his age is completely unknown. We have no idea how old he was. I got him as an adult. The people who had him before had him as an adult. And apparently he was with other people before that, and they got him as an adult. So I have for all I know, he could have been a wild caught. I don't know. I have no background on him other than that. So we estimated probably around 10 to 12 years old between them having him and the people before them having him, and then the few years that I had had him. I'd had him for, when did I get him? 2019. So I'd had him for 6 years because I just recently gave him to a friend of mine. So I'd had him for 6 years, and, you know, they'd had him for so long. Oh, there's a little spider crawling down. I hope that's not a widow. Hello, are you a widow? Oh, you are building an entire web, aren't you? Look at you going up and down. I might have to show that. It's a tiny little bitty spider right there. I'm going to let him do his thing. They're catching fruit flies. Leave the spiders alone in your reptile room. So, anyway, I didn't really select Domino for myself. So it wasn't really one that I would have gotten otherwise. So when I saw this one and I was like, I don't really have another spot for a Cal King, but I really wanted this Cal King. And, you know, I had to make a decision, and sometimes that happens. And there was nothing wrong with him. He was a sweetheart. Domino was awesome. He was a great animal, beautiful animal, healthy, eats whatever you put in front of him, including other snakes. Like if we have we had a baby that didn't, you know, make it out of the egg or something, a kingsnake will take care of that for you. So that's another thing. Like he was a really good feeder. He was really easy to handle, very, very chill, but that could have also been because he was elderly. So like, because an elderly snake is going to be a lot slower and, you know, less jerky. Unless you get one that's just like that. But like he was super chill. And I had him for years. I had no intention of getting rid of him until I saw this one. So that's why he's named No Way Jose, because I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw him. And I had to have him. I had to. And he was criminally cheap. So I paid the full asking price for him. I didn't haggle it at all. I was like, take my money. I want that snake. And they were actually offering me the female but the female came from the same clutch, and she wasn't as cool. She looked like one of the other types of the other like pattern type of the hypermel. So I really just wanted this one. You don't have to, just because you have reptiles doesn't mean you have to breed reptiles. So I didn't get him really for breeding, and I didn't have any of the other ones for breeding. I really wanted him. And he's so pretty. Can't you tell? Look at how pretty he is. His little tail. How cute is that? That's adorable. He's so cute. He's so stinking cute. So that's No Way Jose in his teeny tiny baby enclosure. And yeah, I did knock the rest of the water out. So I gotta put some water. And I don't have any in my jug, so I gotta keep going back to the bathroom so this is basically how I have him set up. He's got a shelf. He's got a hide under there. He's got another hide on the other side. He's got a hide that's kind of like up on the top of the shelf. And then he's got all the plants that he can hide in, the fake plants. And the substrate is at least a couple inches deep, so he can hide in that too. So he has everything he needs for this teeny tiny, you can see the size of him to the size of the tub. I mean, it's borderlining, but he still has a little ways to go before I move him out of here. And when I do, I have that one down there is empty. This tub here, that one is empty. So I already have his spot ready for him. That's the one that's I think it's a 30 gallon. Is that the 30 gallon? I think that's the 30 gallon one. But it's almost the footprint of a 40 gallon because, I mean, you see, like those are the 44s. And that one is pushed up all the way against the edge because I was storing some stuff right there. So it's, what is it, like 30, it's 30 inches wide by like 20 inches deep. So not quite, like the 40 gallons and stuff are 18 inches deep and the tubs are 20, 22, 23, some of them. So the tubs actually have a slightly wider area for floor space, even though it's not quite as long, if that makes sense. And let me get him water. One of the questions I get is about heating, like how I heat these things. And I put the heat mat underneath one side. And just to clarify, it does not burn the plastic. Obviously, I am not one to put my animals in a situation where they could be harmed. That's not my jam. So they're definitely protected. This guy doesn't even have a heater up there because he's higher up and it's kind of like in this alcove of the closet. That's like a 4-foot space. So like he's got that height up there, he's got the darkness there, and it's kind of in that alcove. So it's sort of, that heat is just sort of, what's the word? There's a word. I can't think of it right now. But the heat kind of stays up there. So, like, I don't have external heat on this one. Or the other one that I'm about to show you. There is a heater up here. Now this one, you guys are about to get real mad when you see who's in here because he is way too big for this little tub. However, I had him in a bigger enclosure and he stopped eating. But it was also because I was cohabbing him with the females because it's a special breeding project I'm trying. So I'm not actually, I need to resex them. I do need to resex them. I'll probably check this guy right now because he's actually on the top. This is the smallest of the Solomon Island tree boas. And that's one of the reasons why I keep him up high, because he's a tree boa. And I think a common misconception is that to have an arboreal animal, you have to have an enclosure that takes up the entire, you don't. What you need to do is put them up high. So like him being in here, he's up high, he's over eye level. So for him, he's still in a tree, even though it's a smaller tub. The green tree python up there, perfectly content, doesn't really like to be held or anything, but he's a content animal. He eats. He or she, I think it's a she actually. Bonsai is its name. So Bonsai eats, sheds, does everything that, you know, a green tree python would do. But I don't have like the height because when I give them the full, they stay way up top. Like even this right here, the iguana enclosure is 4.5 foot tall. Yeah, it's about 4.5 foot tall. He doesn't use all that. Like, he's on the top, like the top 2.5 feet. Always. I never, ever see him down at the bottom, Goblin. So, like, his name is Goblin. So, I never see him in the bottom. Unless he's asking to come out. Then he starts surfing along the bottom. That's the only time. I never see him actually hanging out down there. I used to have the water bowl down there, and I don't even think he was getting water from down there. There's multiple hides down there. He's not even using that. I've got hides that are like kind of hanging from other hides. Like he's not using any of it. He's just at the top always. I probably could have saved space by just giving them the top. You know, if that's all they're going to use, then that's all they're using. If they're not going to use the whole thing, they don't need the whole thing. Hi. Hello. How are you? May I? Peekaboo. May I? Hello. Oh, that's rusted. Oh, because it was touching the top. I see. Hello. Hi. Okay. Hello. I know. Hi, you want to come out? I know you don't want to. I haven't really held him too much since putting him in here, but like I said, he wasn't eating for a while. So I had to be careful. There we go. Come on out, buddy. There you go. Look at that. This is a Solomon Island tree boa. Gorgeous. This is Clay. His name is Clay because of the clay color in his pattern. They have very oddly shaped faces. For boas. This is a boa. Anybody says they can't be handled is full of it. Because they can. Unfortunately, this species is largely wild caught, so I took on the trio from someone who was moving, and I hope they're not watching because I'm about to talk shit, but these people, I will not name them. Thankfully, they don't have reptiles anymore. I will not name them, but had contacted me to take in a collection, and it was a total of 6 snakes And then he had like skinks. I didn't take the skinks because he actually said he had somebody else coming for the skinks. And because I'm limited on space and all of that stuff, like skinks need more space, honestly, than like a small snake does. So, and the lighting and all of that stuff. And I didn't really have anywhere to put a bunch of skinks. So, and they were like, I think they were like, I want to say fire skinks. Maybe one of them was a blue tongue skink, and then some other one was some smaller species of skinks. I have small species of skinks. I have Snyder skinks, but I don't like. I'm trying to breed them, but they're in the living room. Like I don't have really space for more things that need lighting and all of that stuff. Unless I go through like a whole project. And if I intend to get something that requires that type of enclosure, I set it up before I get it. Or I'll be almost ready for it, or have, at least have something in mind, a place to put it and all of that stuff before bringing it home. And it was, in this case, was kind of an emergency situation. He contacted me and was like, I'm moving, and I guess he was moving with his dad or something, but going like up north, moving out of state. So couldn't take his reptiles for whatever reason. I don't care, doesn't matter, but had called me, or I had called him to let him know I was on my way after work one day, and then he tells me that they're leaving, they're pulling away like with the U-Haul, they're getting ready to pull out, and the reptiles are still in the house. Just knock on the next door neighbor or something like that to go get them. I'm like, what? I said, no, you're going to wait there for me to get these animals. Like, I'm not going through your neighbor. I mean, and I had never met them before, so like, how do I know that this is not a sketchy situation? I don't know that. So, always protect yourself in situations like that. So I actually I really kind of demanded and asked that they would stay and wait, and they did begrudgingly. But he waited, and so I went and picked up all of the snakes. I still have one of the ball pythons, and I still have 3 of these guys. The other ball pythons were a couple of normals, like a pair of normals that I ended up giving to someone else. And, I didn't charge anything for them or anything. If I'm giving someone something that was given to me, I'm not going to charge people for it. Like that kind of like borderlines into something else we won't get into, but like I'm not in this for the money. I'm in this for the animals. I'm here for them. So this one, he's so cute. Very cute little species. Super underrated too. I mean, and they, like, as you can see, they can be handled. It's not like they can't be handled. And this is a wild caught individual. But I was given the trio, and I decided to keep them because and then I guess they cut importation, so probably the price of them will go up at this point. Unless if people don't know about them though, if people aren't giving these animals a chance because they think they can't be handled, or they think that they're difficult to keep or something like that, they're really not. They're really not. They're super easy, just like an Amazon tree boa, any other sort of arboreal species. This one is a little bit difficult to feed. He likes being in the smaller space. Once I put him in this tiny little tub, he was ravenous all over again. Did you poop? Let me check for poops. One thing I will say about Solomon Island tree boas specifically, now that I've kept these guys, I've had them for almost a year. I'd say almost a year. Well, there's tons of springtails in there. Where's my tweezies? Where's my pinchers? I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by a loose springtail running around. What was I talking about, you guys? I don't remember. Hognose snakes, Kenna? They're dumb. They're not a brain cell. They are so adorable. Why is it just the dumbest ones are the cutest ones, too? Oh, I was talking about how much they poop. They do poop a lot. They urate a lot. this species urates a lot, so that's kind of wild. And they don't, this particular individual does not eat nearly as much as the other two do. And it's still a little one. Oh, let me see if I can try to sex it, by the way. I might not like me rubbing on his tail. My hand's a little. Ah! Oh my Lord, darling, are you in shit? You're getting ready to shed. Look, as soon as I tried to... Whoopsie daisy. But, you know, that'll show you where the humidity's at this one. Look at that. Bink. So I tried to palpate to sex him, and I didn't realize that he was actively shedding. Okay, I'm sorry. I will put you back. I will put you back. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were just not fired up, because they do fire up. Let me see if I could catch it though. Oh, it went down. That might be a female. Hold on. Clay. Clay's a girl. Hold on. No bumps. Shut up. Clay's a girl? See, I never did this when I got them. I just kind of took the word. I thought they said the little one was a dude. Oh, I might have to change your name from Clay then. You're shedding. My bad. My bad. Aw. Does everybody see what's happening here? What is this? Do I have to pause this? What is going on? Is my internet going down or something? What is happening? That's really weird, you guys. I might have to cut the live and start it back over again. I'm not sure why that's happening. Is somebody hacking my phone? Is that what's happening? I always wonder about this. Well, that's fine, because this one is actually not on the network, so there's no SIM card. You're wasting your time if you're hacking my phone, because there's no SIM card on this phone. It's on Wi-Fi. Sorry.